So, hello and welcome. As you know, the Indian team has already arrived in Colombo. They had their first practice session as well yesterday at the NCC, which lasted for 3 hours. It was an intense practice session, and there were some interesting details that we have already shared in our other video. In this video, we'll be particularly talking about Devdutt Padikkal, and there is a good reason to talk about him because Sai Sudharsan is yet to join the team. He hasn't arrived with the Indian team in Colombo. What we are getting is he's still at the center of excellence in Bengaluru, and there is growing uncertainty around his participation for the first test, which will be played in Galle from the 15th of August. So, if Sai Sudarshan, who batted number 3 in the last test that India played against Afghanistan, if he misses out, then who will be India's number 3? If you go by the practice session that happened yesterday, seems like it is going to be Devdutt Padikkal because first it was KL Rahul who hit the nets, and then second person to bat to come out to bat and bat against spin was Devdutt Padikkal, and had a long session against spinners. Then faced the throwdowns at the end. He faced the fast bowlers as well. So we'll be talking about Devdutt Padikkal and his preparation. What we saw in the first practice session. Devashish, first he faced against spinners. Did you find him convincing, the footwork and everything? Because I saw was he looked very scratchy against spin.
Yeah, I would say so. But the key for me is him batting with the captain. Shubman Gill was batting with Devdutt Padikkal. So and obviously we know the discussion that went around between the captain and the coach. So there I think if you assess the body language, I think there might be a possibility that Devdutt Padikkal might just sneak into that playing 11 for the Galle test match. Yes, it's too early days, I would say, because the first test starts on August 15. So plenty of time left. But when it comes to facing the fast bowlers, I think he looked a lot more confident compared to the spinners. And see, he is coming back after a long, then obviously consistent domestic season. He has been part of the India A side as well. So I think this is kind of a opportunity for him. And maybe it's time for him to grab the opportunity.
Definitely, he was with the Indian team here around 1.5 months back when the India A team traveled to Sri Lanka for the two unofficial test with where Dhruv Jurel was the captain. Sai Sudarshan was also there. Sai Sudarshan was the top scorer of the series. That's why heading into this series, it was very clear that Sai will bat at 3. But since there is now an uncertainty around Sai's participation, now it's more likely that Devdutt Padikkal will bat at number 3 in case Sai Sudarshan is ruled out of the first test. Just because if you look at the squad composition, there are not many left-handers who are there. Yes, there are a lot of left-handers down the order. There is a Manav Sudhar, Ravindra Jadeja is there, Kuldeep Yadav bats, Harsh Dubey is there, but no, Harsh Dubey is a net bowler. But if you look at the more left-handers are there in the lower middle order. If you in middle order and top order, there are not many left-handers. And because Devdutt Padikkal, what favors him is that he has played in these conditions in the recent past, like Dhruv Jurel has, like Sai Sudarshan has. So I think that will also go in his favor. So in all certainty, in my opinion, I think Devdutt is all set to bat at number 3 only if Sai Sudarshan misses out for the first test. But again, coming back to the same point, Debashish, when you saw him batting against the likes of Saransh Jain, so obviously this is Saransh first time with the Indian team. Saransh looked absolutely brilliant. He was actually the pick of all the spinners. And Devdutt, what he was trying to do is he was trying to play it a lot with the sweep shot. He was trying to counter the spin a lot with the sweep shots, which not a lot of Indian batters, if you look at the current lot of Indian batters, not a lot of current batters play the spin. And he was struggling to, connect the ball while playing the sweep shot. What were your observations?
Yeah, I think, and that was the reason Shritangshu Kotak was time and again coming and discussing with the batters. Means that is one area I think that will be key for the Indian batters, because most of them hasn't played a test match here in Sri Lanka, and the conditions, as you have noticed, that obviously in Galle, particularly it's facing the likes of Prabodh Jayasuriya, I think sweep might not just be the solution. I think they need to play with their V. they need to use their feet. Using the feet is very crucial in these conditions, and that is what Shitangshu Kota, Gautam Gambhir, they were keenly observing how the Indian batters were. If you can notice, the most of the times both Shitangshu Kotak and Gautam Gambhir were in the spin bowlers area, rather than where Shiraj and Prasidh Krishna were bowling, or the throwdown specialists. So I think the focus was around facing the spinners, Vaibhav.
And that's where Devdutt's lack of feet movement was evident during while he was facing the spinners. There was hardly any movement from his feet. He was playing all inside from within the crease, trying to employ the sweep shots, trying to defend the ball. That's what he was trying. If you compare it with somebody like Shubman Gill was proactive against spinners. Same with Dhruv Jurel, same with Rishabh Pant. The only person who looked a bit underconfident against spin was obviously Devdutt Padikkal, because a lot of times he got beat not just against Saranjan but against Ravindra Jaya, Manav Sutar as well. So yeah, it remains to be seen how much confidence he inspires. But at the moment, if you just go by the preparation, by the first practice session, there is a big hint that it could be Devdutt Padikkal if Sai Sudharsan gets ruled out for the first test in goal. So yeah, that was it from this particular video. Again, we'll be coming with more interesting points, and selection will be a definite point of discussion in the build up of the first test, and we'll continue to build up to the first test with some interesting pointers whatever we get from here in Sri Lanka with the team. So yes, for everything, keep following Revsportz, and we'll keep producing more contents like this for you. Thank you for watching.
For India's best multi-sports coverage, your platform is one, and that's Revsportz. So like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I think by now you know that we will be everywhere in different parts of the world and bring you on-ground reportage. As I said, your best multi-sports coverage on Revsportz, your favorite destination.